How are you doing, everybody? This is Cascade TV. My name is Nick. So today's discussion is money and the secret of money and what money actually is and blah blah blah. Money is an infinite resource. It is printed by governments every day. So there's endless supply. And what they do with the population in these countries is they're basically, most people, that you work a job, blah blah blah, and you're trading your time for this money, which is not real, but it does have a signal. It does have a purpose. It's an exchange of goods and services. That's all it is. But in actuality, it's not a real thing, So you're basically going to work. You're trading your time for money. That's why saving money does not work. It will never work, and it can't work. You can't save yourself rich if you're trading your time for money, so it defeats that argument. So how are you going to get rich? By saving money? Like, when has saving money actually ever worked? It's never worked. I never heard of it working, ever. It never will work, because it's something they teach populations in countries, because it's better to teach them that. Because if people have a lot of money, then they'll see the world, they'll travel, they'll understand more of life. But if you keep them broke, keep them poor, that's why you have to go back to work the next week, is because, slave wages give the population just enough money to pay all their shit, and they have no money left over. It's a slave wage, I like to call it. But it's, they have a very good way of keeping the population poor, keeping them dependent on a job. So they're trading their time for money, and eventually you run out of time and you're fucking dead. So time is your most valuable assets, for those of you who haven't known that. And you have to find a way to disconnect your time from money. There's so many things. I think there's more ways to get rich and make money than there is to be poor. There really is, because there's only there's more things to do to get rich than there is the don'ts. All right, let's talk about money. How are we going to get rich? Saving money isn't going to get you rich. So I would focus on making more money with the means that you have of right now. If you're working a 9 to 5, I would suggest getting a second job, if not adding more hours to your work day, and just keep doing that in compound effect, and compounding it, and then creating a plan of attack if you like to go do something else. For me, I like traveling. I lived in Colombia for over almost 2 years. I've traveled most South American countries, and I'm going to be traveling Asia. I'm going to go to Bangkok, and then I'm going to go to Phuket, and then I'm going to be training boxing there for possibly 2 months, and I might have to extend the visa. So, and then I'll be traveling Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and I'll go to most Southeast Asian countries, if not all of them. I probably might not go to Myanmar, because dictatorship there right now, but that's my plans. But I would focus on making more money if I was you. Number one thing, if you live in the US, do not date a girl from this country, okay? Because it is a waste of time, and you have so many better options as a man, because as a man, there is way more beautiful women than, men of value. I was living in Colombia, bro. I could have 10 girlfriends, any girl, threesomes. I was sleeping with 2 girls at my site every night. I just came back from Colombia maybe 4 months ago. I'm leaving again in 3 weeks to go to Asia. So I wouldn't ever stay in the United States more than 3 to 4 months, unless I had to go back or had a reason to come back, because I have a business here as well, and I have my cars here. But I don't like this country. Knowing what I know now after traveling South America, living in Colombia, I don't like this country. Not that I don't like the people in this country, but the system, how it is, it's meant to keep you poor, and I see right through it now. And yeah, so it's just the truth of it, and you have to find a way to escape. And I suggest traveling, going to new countries. It really opens your mind. It really, really will. You'll look at life so differently. So if you're struggling to get a girlfriend, I suggest you travel, go to other places, because you wouldn't want to date a girl in the United States. They're just not worth it, you know. They're fat and ugly and unattractive and just not appealing. There's so many women in other countries. Like, you could have 10 of them. I'm not saying that you should move to another country. I would personally live there. Like, I only come back to the United States briefly. I would never, after knowing what I know now, I wouldn't date a girl living in this fucking country. I'll tell you that. But you have to focus on financial freedom, having income, living abroad. You need to de-link your time from money, reinvest in yourself and your businesses. That's all you need to do. And I hope this video, and most importantly, never give up on yourself. Never give up. Never give up. Whatever you're going through, you know, you have to get through it. Okay? There's someone looking at me right now, so. All right. So if you'd like to have more advice, come visit nixacademy.com. The website's being built. We have Discord. We talk about money, talk about traveling, and yeah.